Welcome, seekers of mystery and truth. Tonight, you step into the ancient shadows of the Maya world, a realm where stone temples whispered to the stars, where priests lifted their voices to the heavens, and where every flicker of flame told the story of creation. This is not just history. This is a journey into the living sky of a people who mapped the cosmos long before our modern telescopes existed. The Maya priest did not look upward with curiosity alone. He gazed with purpose, with reverence, and with fear. For the stars were not distant fires to him, but living gods, guardians of destiny, and keepers of time itself. In his midnight sky, the universe became a sacred script, each constellation a divine prophecy, each eclipse a trembling omen. As you watch, listen closely, for the chants of the ancients may still echo across the dark. Open your mind, open your spirit, and prepare to walk through fire, shadow, and starlight. This is not only a story of the Maya, it is the story of humanity's unending dialogue with the eternal heavens. Welcome to the Maya priest's midnight sky. What if the night sky was not empty? What if every star above you had a voice, a power, and a destiny tied to your soul? For the Maya priest, the midnight sky was no silent canvas. It was alive, burning and watching. Every ritual, every sacrifice, every whispered prayer was an attempt to answer the gods written in starlight. Tonight, you will step into that sacred darkness. You will see what the priest saw, and once you do, you may never look at the stars the same way again. Subscribe for more history. Like and comment if you believe history should never be forgotten, and share to spark conversation about the lessons we must. The jungle sleeps in heavy silence, broken only by the cry of distant owls. Above the canopy, the midnight sky spreads like an endless black canvas dusted with silver fire. A single priest stands upon the temple pyramid, his robe of woven cotton embroidered with jade beads, his bare feet pressed against the cold stone. He is old yet unbent. His eyes reflect not the weakness of age, but the burden of knowledge. His name is unknown, for he is not a man but a vessel, chosen to speak with the gods of the heavens. Tonight, his breath rises like smoke, slow and measured. In his hands he holds a burning torch, the flame snapping in the night wind. He raises it toward the sky, whispering a prayer, not for the people below, but for the stars themselves. To him, the constellations are not distant, they are alive. Each one holds a will, a hunger, a demand. The priest kneels, sprinkling powdered copal incense into a clay bowl. The smoke curls upward, carrying his words, as though the heavens themselves lean closer to listen. His chant is soft but resonant, echoing off the stone walls. O Itzamna, Lord of creation, O Kinnik Ahau, fiery sun, O Ixchel, moon mother, guide us through your endless sky. Below the city sleeps. The common people know nothing of the priest's burden, yet their fates are tied to every flicker of light he reads above. A shift in Venus, a shadow on the moon, these are not distant events but warnings, commands, and judgments. The priest alone carries this knowledge, heavy as the night itself. He looks to the east. There Venus rises, bright and sharp like a blade. His heart stirs with unease, for Venus is no gentle star. It is the harbinger of war. The city will awaken tomorrow under omens of blood, but he cannot speak yet. The people must not know until the gods confirm what the heavens whisper. The torch sputters. He presses it against the stone altar, leaving a scorch mark like a blackened star. He spreads his arms wide and chants louder now, his voice merging with the rustling of the trees. The sky is the book, the stars are the words. I am the reader, but I am also the servant, and for one fleeting moment, he believes he sees them, the gods themselves, woven in the starlight. Jaguar eyes gleam in Orion's belt, a feathered serpent coils in the Milky Way. The priest trembles, not from fear, but from awe. He is no longer alone on the pyramid. The sky is alive. The midnight sky answers not with words but with silence, a silence heavy as stone, eternal as fire. The temple is a mountain of stone, breathing in silence. By day it is alive with pilgrims, vendors, laughter, and the rhythm of drums. But at night, the temple transforms. Its stairways lie empty, its courtyards hollow, its walls bathed in the silver glow of the moon. Only the priest dares move through it now, for the silence is not absence, it is presence. The silence carries weight, as though the stones themselves are listening. Every footstep he takes echoes louder than expected, rolling through corridors like distant thunder. He knows these halls better than any other man, but in the stillness of night, even he feels the temple watching. Inside he walks past carvings of gods. Itzamna, with his great celestial eyes, Ixchel with her serpent crown, and Kukulkan, the feathered serpent, frozen in stone. The priest touches the carvings with his fingertips, murmuring prayers, his voice trembling against the silence. He feels the weight of centuries pressing down, the builders, the kings, the ancestors. Each block of limestone carries memory, blood, and devotion. He reaches the sanctuary at the temple's heart, a small chamber lit only by a single flame in a clay lamp. The walls are painted with faded murals, jaguars, serpents, and the sacred ceiba tree rising to the heavens. Here, he kneels. Here, the silence grows so heavy that it feels alive, pressing against his chest, listening to his every breath. He places a codex on the stone altar, its bark paper pages, painted with red, black, and blue ink. The book is a living map of stars and prophecies, passed from priest to priest, untouched by common hands. By lamplight, he traces the glyphs. Tonight, Venus has risen early. It is an omen of unrest. The codex confirms what his heart already knew. The gods demand preparation. Suddenly the flame flickers, though no wind passes through. The shadows dance on the walls, twisting the painted serpent into motion. The silence deepens, and he feels as though someone, or something is with him. He bows his head, whispering, "I am your servant, speak." But the gods do not answer in words. Instead, the silence grows, until it roars in his ears like a hidden storm. The priest feels his skin crawl, his breath tighten. He knows what this means. The gods have seen. The gods have judged. He leans forward and presses his forehead to the stone floor. The silence does not relent. It becomes a command, a demand for blood, for sacrifice, for devotion renewed. The temple is no longer silent. It is alive, a throat of stone holding the voice of gods. When the priest rises, his hands tremble. The codex lies open before him, the symbols shimmering faintly in the lamplight, as if breathing. He closes it carefully, whispering again into the heavy silence, "So be it." The temple answers with shadows. In the Maya world, time is not a straight line. It is a circle, a serpent swallowing its tail. Every day, every moon, every star carries weight, meaning, and prophecy. For the priest, nothing is ordinary. The turning of days is a divine rhythm, measured by the sacred calendar, the Tzolk'in. Inside the temple chamber, the priest sits cross-legged before a great stone wheel carved with glyphs. His torchlight flickers across its surface, illuminating the spirals and faces of gods etched into the stone. Around him are smaller clay markers, tokens used to track the cycles. The 260-day Tzolk'in merges with the 365-day Hab, weaving human life into cosmic order. Birthdays, deaths, wars, harvests, all are written in these cycles. The priest moves one marker forward, whispering the name of the day, 13ik, the wind. His voice trembles, for today is no ordinary alignment. Today, Venus has risen in the east on a day of wind. It means the breath of the gods carries war across the horizon. The calendar is not silent, it speaks with precision. He remembers his training as a young boy, when his teacher placed the first codex before him. Each day is a spirit, the elder had said. Each day is alive. To live without knowing the day is to walk blind in darkness. Now, decades later, he is the bearer of that light, the reader of time itself. He closes his eyes. The calendar sings in his mind. He sees warriors painted in black, their spears glinting with obsidian. He sees crops withering under a sun too harsh. He sees blood spilling on temple steps. The visions blur, merging into a single truth. Destiny cannot be avoided. The gods will have what they demand. With steady hands, the priest marks the day on bark paper, painting glyphs with red pigment. He does not rush. Each stroke is sacred, each curve a prayer. Once the symbol is drawn, he exhales deeply, as if sealing the prophecy into the air itself. Outside, the city still sleeps. Mothers cradle infants born on this day, unaware that their children now carry the burden of wind and war. Farmers will wake at dawn to sow seeds, not knowing that the stars already judge their harvest. Only the priest carries the weight of foresight, alone with the god's design. He sets the codex aside and places his palm on the great stone wheel. It is cold, unyielding, eternal. Yet beneath his hand, he imagines it beating like a heart, the heart of time itself. The priest whispers, the circle turns, the gods have spoken. The silence that follows is not empty. It is the sound of inevitability. The midnight hour arrives, and with it, the most sacred of rituals. The city lies in shadow, its people asleep, yet above them the temple blazes alive with fire. For in Maya belief, fire is not simply warmth, it is the tongue of the gods, the bridge between earth and sky. The priest climbs the pyramid steps slowly, carrying a clay bowl filled with burning coals. His robe sways in the night breeze, his painted face solemn, eyes fixed on the heavens. Behind him, 2 young acolytes follow, each carrying bundles of pine resin and dried copal. Their faces are nervous, for they know the gods listen closely when fire is raised. At the summit, the wind roars stronger, whipping the torches so that their flames bend and snap like serpents. The priest kneels before the altar, placing the clay bowl upon the stone surface. He sprinkles copal into the embers, and immediately the fire erupts, sending thick white smoke spiraling into the sky. The smoke does not scatter. It rises in a single column, as though guided by unseen hands. He raises both arms, chanting in the ancient tongue, "O flames that speak, O fire that eats, carry our words to the lords of the heavens." The acolytes echo his chant, voices trembling but strong. The fire answers with a sudden crack, sparks leaping high into the darkness. The priest does not flinch. He knows the gods speak in flame and smoke, and tonight their voices are urgent. He casts dried herbs into the blaze, each one chosen carefully: maize husks for abundance, cacao shells for sweetness, jade dust for strength. The fire shifts colors, glowing first golden, then blue, then briefly green. To the untrained eye, it is only fire, but to the priest it is language, the gods shaping their reply. The smoke twists into patterns, forming shapes against the starlit sky. The acolytes see only fleeting shadows, but the priest sees clearly, a serpent uncoiling, its jaws open wide. He lowers his head, whispering, "The gods hunger, they will demand blood." The fire surges higher, as if in answer, and for a moment the flames seem to roar like a beast. The heat lashes at his skin, but he does not move. Instead, he draws a small blade of obsidian and cuts his forearm, letting drops of blood fall into the fire. The flames snap, devouring the offering instantly. The acolytes bow low, whispering prayers in fear. The priest, however, stares into the heart of the blaze. He sees not just fire, but eyes staring back, watchful, endless, and alive. The gods have spoken. The midnight fire has carried their will. When the flames finally soften, he lowers his hands, exhausted. The ritual is complete, but the message burns inside him. The heavens demand sacrifice, and the city's fate has shifted forever. Night deepens, and the jungle breathes with unseen life. Somewhere in the darkness, the low growl of a jaguar pierces the stillness, a sound that carries both reverence and terror. For the Maya, the jaguar is no ordinary beast. It is the master of the underworld, the shadow that moves between worlds. Tonight, its presence is more than a sound. It is an omen. The priest descends from the pyramid after the midnight fire ritual. His heart still pounds from the intensity of the flames, and his eyes scan the dense foliage surrounding the temple. The torch in his hand flickers, casting jagged shadows across the stone steps. Every shadow seems alive, dancing, reaching, warning. Suddenly, the jaguar emerges from the darkness. Its eyes glow like embers, and its coat blends seamlessly with the night. The acolytes freeze, breathless, knowing this creature is sacred and dangerous. The priest steps forward slowly, not with fear, but with recognition. This is a messenger, a guardian, a spirit of the underworld sent to test him. He whispers an ancient chant, low and steady, invoking the strength of the jaguar god, Balaam. Great Balaam, shadow of the night, guide my steps. Show me the truth in the darkness. The jaguar does not attack. It circles him once, then again, its gaze never leaving the priest. Its movements are fluid, almost ceremonial, and the priest senses a message encoded in every twitch of muscle, every flick of tail. He understands the jaguar is warning of a coming darkness, a hidden threat to the city and its people. He kneels, bowing deeply, and the jaguar pauses, as though acknowledging the gesture. The priest offers a small token, a jade bead from his own necklace, placing it gently on the temple steps. The jaguar sniffs, then disappears into the black foliage as silently as it arrived. The acolytes exhale in relief, but the priest remains still, staring into the night. He knows that the jaguar was not a random predator. It was a guide, a shadow of wisdom from the underworld. He can already see the threads of fate woven into the city's future, struggles of power, omens of blood, whispers of the gods carried in shadow. Above, the stars wheel silently. The priest lifts his eyes and chants again, this time addressing the heavens. I have seen your shadow. I have felt your warning. Let the city remember that the night is alive. The jungle returns to its eerie calm, yet the priest's mind remains alight with understanding. The jaguar's shadow is no mere threat. It is a reminder of the balance between life and death, light and dark, mortal and divine. He descends the temple steps slowly, carrying the memory of the encounter with him. Every movement feels heavier, as if the shadow of the jaguar walks alongside him, guiding, watching, teaching. Tonight, the night itself has spoken. Before the world of men existed, the Maya believed there was only sky and darkness, stars yet unborn, and time yet unmeasured. Tonight, atop the temple pyramid, the priest feels the pulse of creation as if it were alive. The fire ritual has ended, the jaguar's shadow has passed, and yet the night hums with invisible energy. He kneels before the altar, eyes closed, listening to the rhythm of the cosmos. In the flicker of the torchlight, he imagines the birth of the universe, twin gods emerging from nothing, forming sun and moon, stars and earth. He whispers an invocation to Huracan, the god of wind and fire, whose breath first stirred the void into life. Each syllable carries through the night, intertwining with the distant cries of owls and the rustling of leaves, forming a song older than memory. The priest's mind unfolds visions of swirling nebulae, rivers of light pouring into black voids. Celestial bodies spin into existence, Venus, bright and sharp, the Pleiades clustered in luminous harmony, Orion, hunting silently across the sky. He sees the gods walking among these newborn stars, placing each in its ordained path. The priest rises, arms extended, and traces invisible glyphs in the air, mapping constellations with precise gestures passed down through generations. He murmurs, from chaos, order, from darkness, life, from silence, song. Each movement aligns with the sacred calendar, for the birth of the cosmos is not random but deliberate, a rhythm mirrored in human life below. A sudden breeze whispers across the temple summit, carrying the scent of burning copal from the previous ritual. He bows, sensing that the universe itself watches him, approving or testing his devotion. The stars twinkle, not as distant fires, but as sentient eyes, nodding in recognition. He imagines himself as both observer and participant, a conduit between gods and men. The priests before him, names forgotten, Faces vanished once stood here, reading the same skies, shaping human destiny through understanding of the cosmos. He is both alone and surrounded by countless generations, connected across centuries by fire, chant, and star. The night deepens. The priest closes his eyes again and listens. The wind whispers, the stars pulse, and he feels the heartbeat of creation itself. Every flicker of light, every shadow, every sound confirms one truth: the universe is alive, cyclical, and eternal. Finally, he lowers his arms and kneels. His chest rises and falls in a slow rhythm. O gods of sky, birth givers, creators of time and life, he whispers, guide us in your eternal cycle. Below, the city sleeps, ignorant of the celestial drama above. Yet through the priest, the cosmos speaks, reminding humanity that birth, life, and death are entwined with the stars. Tonight, the priest has touched eternity. Above the temple, the night sky trembles with whispers of ancient power. The priest's eyes lift to the Milky Way, where he sees a figure coiling through the stars, a giant feathered serpent, Kukulkan, stretching across the heavens. In Maya belief, the serpent is not merely a creature but a bridge between earth and sky, mortal and divine, human and God. The priest raises his hands in awe, his fingers tracing the serpent's sinuous shape. Its scales glimmer in the starlight, each one a flicker of destiny. He chants, invoking Kukulkan's guidance. O great serpent, slither through our lives, guard us, teach us, and show us the path of the stars. He recalls tales passed down through generations. The serpent descended to deliver maize to the people. It taught kings the cycles of time. It warned of floods, wars, and celestial events. And now, coiled in the cosmos, it whispers prophecy once again. A subtle wind rises carrying the scent of burning copal. The priest spreads his arms wide, offering himself to the sky, acknowledging that human lives are but threads in the vast web of creation. The serpent's eyes seem to fix upon him, glowing faintly like coals, as if confirming that the priest is the right messenger. He kneels and sprinkles water into a small stone bowl, watching it shimmer in the starlight. Water, fire, sky, and earth. The four elements are united in this ritual. The priest whispers to Kukulkan, we honor your flight, your wisdom, your vigilance. Show us what we must know. Through the patterns of stars, the priest reads an omen, a disruption in harmony, a warning of imbalance among the people. The feathered serpent is both guardian and judge. The priest's chest tightens as he realizes the weight of this knowledge. To fail the gods is to invite calamity. He bows deeply, resting his forehead on the stone altar, connecting with the cosmic serpent through prayer, vision, and meditation. In the silence that follows, the Milky Way shifts slightly, as if the serpent moves in acknowledgement. The night stretches endlessly. The priest rises slowly, understanding that the serpent will guide him, but the burden remains his alone. Every city below, every human life depends upon reading the skies correctly. And tonight, Kukulkan has spoken. The moon rises, pale and full. Yet tonight it is no ordinary moon. The priest feels a shiver run through the temple, as the shadow of the earth begins to creep across its surface. An eclipse, a rare, terrifying event. The Maya believed eclipses were the moment when gods clashed, when celestial balance trembled, and when human sacrifices were demanded to restore harmony. The priest ascends to the summit of the pyramid, his torch held high. The city below is silent, ignorant of the cosmic terror unfolding above. He lifts his hands to the sky, chanting fervently, O gods of sun and moon, avert wrath, guide us through this shadow. As the eclipse deepens, the sun's halo glows red, like molten blood against the darkened sky. The priest trembles, not from fear of mortality, but from the responsibility of interpreting this omen. The stars around the sun shimmer differently, as though recoiling from the darkness. He sprinkles powdered copal into a stone bowl, flames erupting briefly, casting frantic shadows on the temple walls. He raises obsidian knives, touching his forehead, his chest, offering his own blood to appease the gods. Every drop sent into the fire is a prayer, a plea to restore cosmic balance. From the jungle, distant howls of jaguars pierce the night. To the priest, these are not ordinary sounds. They are echoes of the underworld, acknowledging the celestial struggle above. He kneels, whispering to Ixchel, goddess of the moon, "Bless the city, protect the people, let light return to the sky." The eclipse reaches its zenith. Darkness swallows the moon entirely. The priest feels time itself pause, the universe holding its breath. Every glyph in the codex, every cycle in the sacred calendar, every vision he has received, all converge into a single understanding. The eclipse is a warning, a test of faith, a message of upheaval to come. Minutes stretch into eternity. Slowly the moon re-emerges, bathed in soft silver light. The city below will wake unaware, but the priest carries the memory of terror, awe, and divine revelation. He exhales, drops the obsidian knife into the flame, and bows. The gods have spoken, and their message is clear. Even the stars themselves are capable of wrath. The night is alive with memory, warning, and cosmic power, and the priest alone has received their truth. The stars have witnessed countless sacrifices, and tonight their silent gaze falls upon the temple once more. The priest stands atop the pyramid, the embers of the last ritual fire still glowing at his feet. The city sleeps below, unaware that the balance of life and death hangs upon this night. He prepares a sacred bowl of red pigment mixed with water, a symbolic offering to the gods. Each drop represents life, death, and devotion, carried upward to the stars through ritual and prayer. The priest chants softly, invoking the ancestors, asking for guidance and forgiveness. Above, constellations gleam with unusual brightness, as if responding to the offering. The Pleiades sparkle like a cluster of tiny flames, while Orion's belt casts long, pale light across the jungle canopy. The priest interprets their positions carefully, omens of war, harvest, and human struggle. He is both messenger and interpreter, the only link between heaven and earth. He pricks his finger with a small obsidian blade, letting a single drop of blood fall into the sacred bowl. Smoke rises from incense, twisting and climbing toward the night sky. The stars shimmer in response, weaving patterns the priest alone can decipher. He envisions the souls of ancestors traveling along the Milky Way, riding constellations like celestial rivers. The blood is not merely offering, it is a bridge, connecting the living, the dead, and the divine. He whispers, "May this night carry our devotion. May the gods honor our lives and forgive our trespasses." The acolytes watch from behind, fear and reverence etched on their faces. They understand only fragments of the meaning, yet the priest's calm authority keeps them in awe. His hands move gracefully, performing the gestures that have been passed down for generations. The ritual continues for hours, each breath synchronized with the movement of the stars. The priest feels the weight of centuries pressing upon him, ancestors whispering through his veins, guiding his actions. The night is alive with the energy of devotion, sacrifice, and cosmic dialogue. As dawn approaches, the priest finishes the ritual, extinguishes the fire, and carefully stores the bowl. The stars fade, leaving only their faint memory in the sky. The priest bows, exhausted but resolute, knowing that life and death, humans and gods, are forever intertwined. The moon hides behind a veil of clouds, its silver face partially obscured, mysterious and secretive. For the Maya, the moon is not only a celestial body but a keeper of hidden truths, emotions, cycles, and prophecies concealed from ordinary sight. Tonight, the priest seeks its guidance. He ascends the pyramid once more, carrying a small lamp filled with burning copal. The moonlight filters through drifting clouds, creating shifting patterns on the stone steps. He kneels, holding a mirror of polished obsidian in his hands, reflecting the faint light of the hidden moon. Through this reflection, he glimpses visions, the future of crops, the outcome of conflicts, the rise and fall of leaders. The hidden face of the moon reveals not one truth, but many, layered like the pages of a sacred codex. The priest studies each shadow, each flicker of reflected light, as if decoding a celestial manuscript. He chants softly, invoking Ixchel, goddess of the moon, childbirth, and medicine. O mother of cycles, reveal what is concealed, show me what must be known. The clouds part slightly, and moonlight touches the altar, illuminating glyphs carved centuries ago. The priest sprinkles water over the obsidian mirror, and the reflections shift, forming ephemeral shapes. Jaguars stalking, serpents coiling, warriors raising spears. He interprets them carefully, each image a warning, a message, a call to action. Human lives below will be guided by these visions, though they remain unaware of the cosmic truth above. He closes his eyes and places the mirror on the altar, whispering prayers to ancestors. The moon's hidden face has spoken, offering knowledge and caution. He feels the weight of responsibility pressing on his shoulders, knowing that the city's destiny depends upon how he interprets what he has seen. The clouds swirl, and the moon disappears completely for a moment. The priest remains still, grounded in ritual and faith. When the moon reemerges, he bows, acknowledging the goddess's guidance. The night continues its quiet vigil, stars twinkling faintly, as if in approval. The priest descends the pyramid slowly, carrying the vision within him. The hidden face of the moon is no longer a mystery. It is a map, a warning, and a guide. Through him, the cosmos communicates with humanity, and through him, the city's fate is intertwined with celestial cycles. Dawn approaches, yet the sun is no gentle orb of light. The priest feels its power like a living force, scorching and intense, emanating from the horizon. The Maya believed the sun, Kinichahau, was a god of fire and judgment, whose fury could bring life or death. Today, the heavens seem restless, and the priest knows he must act. He ascends the pyramid before the city awakens, carrying a bowl of burning copal and a small offering of maize kernels. The wind is warm and heavy, as if carrying Kinichahau's anger toward the earth. His painted face gleams with sweat, but his movements are precise, measured, and reverent. He chants, invoking the sun god, O Kinichahau, Lord of fire and light, hear my words. Temper your fury, bless the people, guide the city. Each syllable resonates across the stone steps, mingling with the cries of awakening birds and the distant rustle of the jungle. The priest sprinkles maize into the flames, watching as fire consumes the kernels, transforming them into smoke that rises toward the brightening sky. The ritual is not merely symbolic, it is a plea, a covenant between mortals and God. He reads the sun's angle, the light reflecting off temple stones, and interprets omens of drought, harvest, and fortune. Suddenly, a wind shifts the smoke, revealing a fleeting pattern in the sky. A jaguar prowling across the clouds, eyes like embers. The priest bows, understanding the message. The sun's fury must be respected, or chaos will strike. Hours pass as he completes the ritual, chanting and sprinkling offerings. When the sun finally climbs fully into the sky, its light feels calmer, tempered by devotion. The city below wakes, unaware that their survival may have depended on these rites. The priest steps down from the pyramid, exhausted but steadfast. Kinichahau's fury has abated, for now, but he knows the sun watches constantly, demanding vigilance, sacrifice, and respect. Evening falls, and Venus rises bright and sharp on the horizon, a celestial herald. The priest stands once more atop the pyramid, observing the planet with unwavering focus. In Maya cosmology, Venus is both a messenger and a harbinger. Its movements dictate war, peace, and the fate of kings. He traces its ascent with a staff, eyes narrowing as he measures its angle against the sacred calendar. Whispers of prophecy drift through his mind, the voices of ancestors guiding his interpretation. Tonight Venus carries warnings of conflict, yet also glimmers of hope. The priest chants invoking Chakchel, goddess of war and protection. O Lady of the skies, reveal the hidden paths, show which threads must be followed, which must be avoided. His words are deliberate, the tone resonant, reaching beyond the city into the infinite cosmos. He sprinkles copal incense into a clay bowl, the smoke rising straight and steady, mingling with the faint starlight. The acolytes watch quietly, their faces reflecting both fear and reverence. They know Venus is no ordinary star, it is a living knowing presence. Patterns emerge in the night sky. The planet aligns with the Pleiades, sending a message that decisions taken today will echo for generations. The priest interprets the alignment, his mind moving swiftly, translating celestial movement into human action. Every gesture, every incantation, is part of the dialogue between mortals and gods. The wind shifts, carrying the faint sound of distant drums from the city. The priest bows, placing both hands on the stone of the pyramid. We hear your voice, O Venus. We understand your warning. Let your message guide the city and its people. Venus climbs higher, shedding silver light across the temple and jungle canopy. The priest remains, absorbing the planet's message, committing every sign to memory. When he finally descends, he carries not only the celestial warning but also the weight of responsibility for the lives below. Through Venus, the heavens speak, and through the priest, humanity listens. The night air is charged with cosmic purpose, a silent reminder that the stars are not distant, they are intimately entwined with destiny. High above the temple, a cluster of stars twinkles with uncanny clarity, the Pleiades, the sacred seven sisters of Maya lore. Their return to the night sky signals the turning of cycles, planting and harvest, war and peace, birth and death. For the priest, their appearance is a message, an urgent call to heed patterns older than memory. He kneels atop the pyramid, torchlight flickering against carved glyphs. The jungle below is silent, yet the stars sing in his mind. He whispers prayers to Itzamna, the god of wisdom, and to his ancestors. O keepers of cycles, reveal what must be known. Guide my eyes, guide my hands. The Pleiades shine brighter than ordinary stars, forming a celestial map of omens. The priest interprets their positions, angles, and brightness, tracing invisible lines through the sky. Each point aligns with a day on the sacred calendar, linking the heavens to human action. He sees patterns of conflict, armies rising, rivers flooding, crops failing. Yet within the warning, there is hope, a path to avert disaster through devotion, sacrifice, and vigilance. He spreads powdered copal across a stone altar, letting the smoke rise toward the stars. In its movement, he perceives the sisters themselves dancing, guiding, and testing him. His fingers trace glyphs in the air, drawing invisible connections between the heavens and the city below. The acolytes watch in awe, sensing the magnitude of the cosmic dialogue, but understanding only fragments. The priest murmurs the names of the sisters, aligning each with a day, a prophecy, a destiny. Every gesture matters, every breath is part of the ritual. Suddenly, the wind stirs, carrying the distant roar of jaguars from the jungle. The priest bows, recognizing the echoes of the underworld, joining the heavens in their cosmic conversation. He prays for guidance and protection, knowing the Pleiades' patterns are not static, they shift, respond, and demand attention. Hours pass as he interprets, chants, and observes. When dawn begins to paint the sky with soft gold, the priest closes his eyes, committing every sign to memory. The Pleiades fade into the daylight, yet their message remains etched in his mind. The city below will awaken, unaware of the cosmic counsel delivered above. Time is not merely measured, it is guarded. The priest, aware of this truth, enters a chamber deep within the temple, where stone wheels, codices, and glyphs form a labyrinth of chronological knowledge. Here he becomes the keeper of time, entrusted with recording, interpreting, and predicting the cycles that govern life. The chamber is dimly lit, the air heavy with incense, and the scent of aged bark paper. Every glyph on the walls hums with meaning, every codex pulse with ancestral wisdom. He places a hand on a carved stone wheel, feeling the grooves of centuries etched by those who came before him. Each rotation represents a day, a moon, a solar event. He consults the codex, carefully aligning glyphs with celestial events, lunar eclipses, Venus alignments, solstices. His eyes move swiftly across symbols, absorbing the knowledge encoded by generations of priests. The Tzolk'in and Hab cycles intertwine in his mind, mapping the lives of kings, farmers, warriors, and children alike. The acolytes assist by holding torches and fetching codices. Their fear mingles with wonder as they watch the priest move with calm authority, tracing prophecies in the air with his fingers. Every gesture is precise. Every breath is measured to the rhythm of time itself. He prays silently, "O Itzamna, guide me. Help me preserve the cycles, so that life and the heavens remain in harmony." Suddenly, a vision strikes him. He sees the city, the jungle, the mountains beyond, all entwined in threads of destiny. Events he must predict, festivals he must prepare for, dangers he must warn against. Time is not passive, it is alive, demanding respect, vigilance, and devotion. Hours pass as he moves among stone wheels, codices, and clay markers, aligning them with the calendar, recording events, and interpreting omens. The night stretches, but he remains focused, a sentinel of history and prophecy. Finally he rises, bowing to the chamber and its accumulated wisdom. He understands his role fully. He is the keeper of time, the bridge between past, present, and future. Through him the cycles continue, the city thrives, and the gods' plans unfold. The priest stands at the edge of the temple's highest platform, gazing into the jungle that stretches endlessly below. In the flickering torchlight, his thoughts return to the feathered serpent Kukulkan, whose celestial form had appeared weeks before in the Milky Way. Tonight, the serpent returns, not in stars, but as a vision, coiling through the priest's mind, delivering a prophecy. The priest kneels, closing his eyes, and the air thickens with a charged energy. The serpent slithers in his vision, its scales shimmering with gold, emerald, and crimson, eyes glowing like molten fire. It speaks without words, conveying images of turmoil and destiny, kings rising, alliances breaking, rivers flooding, and harvests failing. The priest sees the city's people, their lives interwoven with these events, and feels the weight of his responsibility as interpreter. He rises and sprinkles copal into a clay bowl, smoke curling toward the heavens. He chants, invoking Kukulkan, "O great serpent, guide my vision. Reveal the path of balance, so that humanity may endure." The serpent coils around the stars in his vision, then descends toward the city as a shimmering shadow, warning of choices yet to come. The priest watches carefully, understanding that every action taken, or not taken, will ripple through the cycles of time. The acolytes, sensing the gravity of the moment, kneel silently, eyes wide in awe and fear. The priest gestures to them to place clay tokens on the calendar, aligning human events with celestial omens. He murmurs prophecies aloud, each syllable carrying weight, mapping the city's destiny. The night air vibrates with power as he moves among glyphs, codices, and stone markers. His face painted, robe flowing, he becomes both conduit and observer, translator of divine will. The serpent's prophecy is not final, only guidance. The priest must act wisely to interpret and prepare the city for the trials to come. By the time dawn creeps over the horizon, the serpent has vanished, leaving only the faint shimmer of its scales in the priest's memory. He exhales deeply, exhausted but resolute, aware that the prophecy is a living force, shaping the city, the jungle, and the heavens. The sky darkens in unusual patterns, a celestial tapestry alive with movement. Shooting stars streak across the heavens, illuminating the jungle below in fleeting flashes. For the Maya, falling stars are not merely lights, they are messages, fragments of the gods themselves, signaling change, danger, or revelation. Tonight, they come in torrents. The priest ascends the pyramid, eyes scanning the sky with precision, torch in hand. He whispers prayers to the gods of the sky and underworld. "O lords of time, of earth, of fire, hear us. Let your messages guide the people." The acolytes follow, carrying incense and offerings. They watch as the stars fall in rapid succession, each streak interpreted as a symbol or warning. Some strike distant mountaintops, others vanish into the jungle canopy without trace. The priest reads the patterns, a prophecy of challenges, an omen of battles and natural trials, and also a subtle promise of renewal, if the city listens and prepares. He kneels and sprinkles copal into a small flame, smoke spiraling upward toward the heavens. His hands trace glyphs in the air, mapping the trajectory of each star to days on the sacred calendar. The priest chants in the ancient tongue, translating the celestial signs into human understanding. In the visions that accompany each falling star, he sees warriors marching, rivers flooding, and maize growing in abundance. The universe communicates in motion, light, and shadow, and the priest must decipher its meaning before dawn. Hours pass in tense observation. The acolytes are weary, but the priest remains focused, aware that this night will be remembered in city and codex alike. He bows to the falling stars, acknowledging their presence and guidance. As the last streak fades and the night returns to stillness, the priest exhales slowly. The messages of the stars are clear. Preparation, vigilance, and devotion will protect the people and honor the gods. The jungle returns to calm, but the priest's mind is alive with the cosmic events he has witnessed. The night of falling stars concludes, leaving only memory, wisdom, and duty. The priest descends, carrying the celestial lessons, aware that the city's destiny has been forever shaped by the sky above. Night has fallen, heavy and alive, when the priest senses a presence unlike any other, a jaguar, but not entirely earthly. Its golden eyes shine through the darkness, reflecting both the fire of the heavens and the mysteries of the underworld. This is the jaguar's eye, a sacred guardian and seer, a bridge between mortal and divine knowledge. The priest kneels at the top of the pyramid, torchlight flickering across carved glyphs. He whispers a chant invoking Balaam, the jaguar god. O guardian of shadow and truth, show me what lies hidden. Let your gaze illuminate the path. The jaguar steps into the torchlight, massive, sleek, and unnervingly silent. Its eyes, like molten gold, lock with the priest's, transmitting visions without words. He sees the city from above, rivers flowing in unusual patterns, forests shifting, and humans moving unaware of the celestial interplay that governs their lives. Acolytes kneel behind him, awe and fear etched on their faces. They understand only fragments of the encounter. The priest extends a hand, offering a jade amulet as respect. The jaguar sniffs, acknowledges, then begins to circle, its gaze fixed on the priest. Visions flow faster now. Battles, alliances, storms, and harvests, threads of fate interwoven. The priest moves with calm precision, tracing glyphs in the air, translating the jaguar's silent knowledge into actionable insight. The beast is both teacher and warning, its golden eyes revealing truths that words cannot contain. Hours pass, the night deepens, yet the priest remains steadfast. When the jaguar finally steps back and disappears into the jungle shadows, he exhales, understanding the message. The city's destiny is tied to vigilance, courage, and wisdom. The jaguar's eye has shown him the hidden currents of power and life. As dawn creeps over the horizon, the priest descends the pyramid, carrying visions burned into his mind. The jungle is silent, the city unaware, but the priest now holds the knowledge that will guide humanity between shadow and light. The night is alive with sound. Whispers float across the jungle, weaving between trees, over temples, and into the priest's ears. These are the whispering winds, voices of gods, ancestors, and spirits, carrying knowledge and warning alike. For the priest, the winds are more than noise. They are messages encoded in rhythm and pitch, secrets of the cosmos delivered to attentive ears. He kneels atop the temple pyramid, arms outstretched, letting the cool breeze pass through him. The acolytes clutch their offerings, sensing the sacred energy swirling around them. The priest closes his eyes and listens, discerning patterns in the whispers, syllables, echoes, and tones that tell of coming events, harvests, storms, alliances, betrayals. He begins to chant, aligning his voice with the rhythm of the winds. Each intonation draws more clarity from the air, translating the ethereal sounds into tangible understanding. He senses the winds are restless tonight, stirred by celestial forces and the movements of distant gods. The priest sprinkles copal into a flame, smoke twisting in harmony with the currents. Images appear in the smoke, warriors marching, serpents coiling, rivers flooding, and maize sprouting in abundance. The winds amplify these visions, whispering warnings and blessings simultaneously. A sudden gust knocks the torchlight, casting flickering shadows across the pyramid stones. The priest remains steady, letting the winds guide his hands as he traces glyphs in the air, marking events on the sacred calendar. The acolytes mirror his movements, careful and reverent. The night stretches, but the priest's focus never wavers. He understands the winds are alive, carriers of divine intention, reflecting both the present and the threads of future events. Every breath is a message, every movement a response to cosmic design. As dawn approaches, the winds calm, leaving only the faint rustle of leaves. The priest bows, acknowledging the unseen messengers and committing the revelations to memory. The city below awakens, ignorant of the divine communication above, yet protected and guided by the knowledge carried by the whispering winds. The priest descends the pyramid slowly, feeling the lingering touch of the air. The night has spoken, and he has listened. Humanity's path is clearer now, guided by both vision and voice, shadow and wind. A dense darkness falls across the jungle, heavier than night alone. The priest senses it immediately. The veil of shadows, a mysterious force believed by the Maya to be the manifestation of forgotten sins, restless spirits, and unseen trials. To cross it is to confront both the physical and spiritual worlds simultaneously. He ascends the temple pyramid with measured steps, torchlight flickering against the stone. His white robe is stained faintly with ash from previous rituals, jade and feather ornaments clinking softly. The acolytes follow, whispering prayers, eyes wide with apprehension. The shadows seem to move independently, curling and twisting across the pyramid steps, reaching toward the priest. He kneels and begins a chant, invoking Apuch, the god of death, decay and transformation. O keeper of endings, guide us through the darkness. Reveal what must be seen, and leave the rest for wisdom. Smoke from copal rises, mingling with the shadows, creating ephemeral shapes, serpents coiling, jaguars prowling, ancestors gesturing in warning. The priest's hands trace glyphs in the air, marking safe paths and areas of caution. The veil tests his devotion, his knowledge, and his ability to remain calm under the pressure of fear. Visions flash before him, forgotten conflicts, unspoken betrayals, dangers lurking in the city below. The priest interprets each as a lesson, recording them mentally in preparation for counsel to kings and people alike. He understands that the veil of shadows is both a warning and a teacher. Hours pass. The torchlight flickers, the shadows twist, but the priest remains steadfast. He chants, prays, and observes, translating darkness into understanding. When the veil finally lifts with the approach of dawn, the jungle returns to its usual rhythm, but the priest carries the weight of unseen truths in his heart. He descends the pyramid slowly, aware that shadows will always exist, but that knowledge, courage, and devotion allow humanity to navigate their influence safely. Under the full moon's silver glow, the priest prepares for a sacred moonlit ritual, honoring Ixchel, goddess of the moon, cycles, medicine, and feminine power. Tonight is a night of reflection, healing, and celestial alignment, when the goddess's influence is strongest. The priest ascends the temple pyramid, robe flowing in the night breeze, jade and feather ornaments catching moonlight. Acolytes follow, carrying sacred bowls, copal, and offerings of flowers and maize. The city below is silent, unaware of the cosmic significance of this ritual. He kneels at the altar, placing each offering with care. The moonlight touches his face, illuminating painted symbols that link him to the divine. He sprinkles water into a shallow bowl, watching reflections shimmer as he chants. O Ixchel, mother of cycles, guide our hands, heal our hearts, bless the city beneath. The priest traces glyphs in the air, creating patterns that echo celestial paths, mapping moon phases, tides, and cycles of life. Smoke rises from copal, intertwining with moonbeams, forming visions, flowing rivers, blooming maize, children laughing, jaguars prowling, serpents coiling. Each vision conveys guidance, warning, and blessing. A gentle wind stirs, carrying whispers of the goddess herself. The priest listens, adjusting his gestures and chants to align with her voice. The acolytes mirror his movements, honoring the ritual, their hearts beating with reverence and awe. The ritual continues through the night, a sacred dialogue between human, goddess, and cosmos. Each chant, gesture, and offering is a bridge between earth and heavens, reflecting the Maya understanding that human life is intertwined with celestial cycles. As dawn approaches, the priest places the final offerings on the altar and bows deeply. He has completed the moonlit ritual, receiving guidance, blessing, and wisdom to carry back to the city. The moon begins to fade, but its influence lingers, etched into the hearts of those who participated. The priest descends the pyramid, torch extinguished, but carrying the light of the goddess within him. Humanity is once again aligned with the moon's cycles, protected and guided by celestial grace. At twilight, the priest gazes skyward as a luminous serpent arcs gracefully across the heavens. This is Kukulkan's flight, a rare celestial event when the feathered serpent traverses the stars, bridging earth and sky. The Maya believe its appearance foretells great change and demands reverence. The priest ascends the pyramid, torch in hand, robe flowing with the evening wind. His jade and feather ornaments catch the fading light, glinting like stars themselves. Acolytes follow silently, carrying offerings and incense. The jungle below is hushed, aware of the cosmic drama unfolding above. He kneels at the altar and chants to Kukulkan, "O great serpent, guide our hands, show us the path between sky and earth. Reveal what must be seen, and shield us from what must remain hidden." The serpent's flight paints a fiery arc across the sky, scales shimmering gold, green, and crimson. In its movement, the priest perceives visions, rivers changing course, warriors gathering, crops thriving or failing depending on choices made by the city's leaders. Each flicker of light is a message, a warning, a blessing. He sprinkles copal into the fire, smoke curling toward the sky in harmony with the serpent's arc. The acolytes kneel, awestruck, as the priest traces glyphs in the air, mapping the celestial flight to the sacred calendar. Every gesture aligns human life with divine will, translating cosmic events into practical guidance for the city below. Hours pass as the serpent glides across the stars, the priest chanting, interpreting, and observing. When Kukulkan finally vanishes into the horizon, the priest exhales, committing every sign to memory. The city's fate may hinge on these revelations, but he is prepared, carrying the celestial wisdom within him. As night yields to dawn, he descends the pyramid, the jungle silent, the city unaware of the divine event above. Yet humanity is aligned, guided by the flight of the serpent and the priest's steadfast devotion. The priest rises at midnight, drawn to a rare alignment of planets and stars, the moment of celestial harmony. When the cosmos appears perfectly balanced, the Maya believed such nights dictate the rhythm of life, signaling fertility, peace, and prosperity. He ascends the pyramid, robe flowing, ornaments glinting under starlight. The acolytes follow, carrying copal and offerings of maize and flowers. The jungle sleeps, bathed in silver moonlight. At the summit, he kneels and spreads offerings on the altar, incense rising in delicate spirals. The priest chants, "O gods of sun, moon, stars, and time, bless this harmony. Let life flourish, let chaos be tempered, let the people thrive." The planets align above, casting a radiant glow on the temple stones. The priest traces glyphs in the air, mirroring the celestial pattern. Each gesture maps the balance of cosmic forces to the cycles of human life. Rivers, forests, and cities are reflected in the heavens, and their harmony depends on human respect for divine law. He observes the stars and planets, noting subtle movements that signal fortune or warning. His chants grow louder, resonating with the rhythm of the universe, and the acolytes echo his words, weaving their devotion into the ritual. Smoke from copal curls upward, illuminated by starlight, carrying prayers to distant gods. Visions of thriving crops, healthy children, and safe cities dance in the priest's mind. He understands that harmony is fragile. Any deviation from divine patterns could bring imbalance. Hours pass as he meditates, chants and observes, ensuring that the celestial alignment is honored. When the planets begin to shift, signaling the end of the moment, the priest bows deeply, acknowledging the guidance and protection of the cosmos. Descending the pyramid at dawn, he feels the profound peace of duty fulfilled. The city below awakens, unknowing of the cosmic equilibrium above, yet blessed by the priest's careful observance and devotion. Humanity moves forward, guided by celestial harmony, safeguarded by wisdom, ritual, and respect. A shadow sweeps across the sun, dimming the day in an eerie half-light. The priest knows immediately a solar eclipse, a sacred omen in Maya cosmology, signaling both danger and revelation. The city below stirs in confusion, unaware of the celestial warning unfolding above. He ascends the pyramid swiftly, robes billowing and jade ornaments clinking. Acolytes follow, carrying incense, offerings of maize, and sacred bowls. The eclipse casts strange, shifting shadows across the temple stones, distorting familiar glyphs into ominous shapes. Kneeling at the altar, the priest chants, "O gods of sun and shadow, reveal the hidden truths. Show us what must be feared and what must be embraced." Smoke from copal rises, blending with the dim sunlight, forming ghostly serpents, jaguars, and ancestral faces that seem to move with purpose. The priest observes carefully, reading the omens. The eclipse reveals the potential for upheaval, storms, illness, and conflict, yet also offers guidance. The shadow's movement aligns with glyphs and codices, instructing him on which rituals and offerings must be performed to temper the divine warning. Visions flash in his mind, kings debating war, rivers swelling beyond banks, crops withering. The priest interprets each carefully, recording them in memory, understanding that preparation, devotion, and adherence to sacred law can avert disaster. He gestures to the acolytes, directing them to place offerings on specific stones and arrange incense to correspond with celestial patterns. Together, they transform the eclipse from a harbinger of fear into a ritual of guidance and protection. As the shadow slowly retreats, revealing the full sun once more, the priest exhales deeply. The city is spared immediate harm, and the wisdom gained during the eclipse is etched into his mind. He descends the pyramid, carrying the knowledge of the heavens' warning, ready to guide his people through the days to come. Night falls, but the priest senses the presence of guardian spirits, invisible yet tangible entities that protect the city, temples, and people. These spirits are messengers of gods and ancestors, watching, guiding, and intervening when necessary. He ascends the pyramid, holding a small flame and incense. His robe flutters, jade ornaments, reflecting the flickering light. The acolytes follow closely, their hearts pounding with both fear and reverence. At the summit, the priest kneels and chants to the spirits, "O guardians of temple and city, reveal your presence, guide our steps, protect our people, and impart your wisdom." Smoke curls around him, and he perceives faint, shimmering shapes forming in the air. Serpents, jaguars, and human-like figures, silent watchers of destiny. Visions unfold, a child saved from a hidden danger, a crop spared from disease, a warrior guided to safety. Each act of the spirits reinforces the priest's understanding that the divine constantly intervenes, shaping life in unseen ways. He sprinkles offerings of maize, flowers, and copal onto the altar, letting the spirits partake. The acolytes mimic his actions, their movements synchronized with his ritual, acknowledging the invisible protectors around them. The priest closes his eyes and listens. The spirits communicate, not in words, but through subtle changes in wind, flame, and shadow. He reads these signs, interpreting messages of guidance, warning, and blessing. The night stretches on, and he becomes both conduit and witness, translating unseen influence into human understanding. As dawn approaches, the spirits recede, leaving only faint impressions in smoke and air. The priest bows deeply, knowing that humanity is never alone, that protection, guidance, and wisdom flow from realms beyond mortal perception. Descending the pyramid, he carries the assurance of unseen guardians, ready to counsel and lead his people with the knowledge of divine oversight. On a moonless night, the priest gazes upward as the Milky Way stretches across the sky, a luminous river of stars flowing endlessly. To the Maya, this celestial river is the pathway of gods and ancestors, connecting the heavens with the earth. Tonight, it carries messages of guidance, warning, and destiny. The priest ascends the pyramid, robe flowing, jade and feather ornaments glinting faintly under starlight. The acolytes follow, holding offerings of maize, flowers, and small bowls of copal. The jungle below is silent, as if holding its breath. At the summit, the priest kneels and chants to the celestial river, "O pathway of gods and ancestors, reveal your wisdom, guide our hands, illuminate our decisions, and bless the city below." Smoke from copal rises, intertwining with the Milky Way, forming shimmering shapes, serpents, jaguars, and ancestral figures that seem to float among the stars. He traces glyphs in the air, aligning the celestial river with the sacred calendar. Each star represents a day, an event, a choice, and the priest interprets them carefully. Visions flow, rivers changing course, crops flourishing or withering, children thriving, warriors facing challenges. The river of stars reflects both opportunity and risk. Acolytes watch silently, awed by the priest's communion with the cosmos. The priest gestures to them, teaching the subtle language of celestial signs, ensuring that knowledge passes through generations. Hours pass as he observes, interprets, and chants, mapping divine guidance to earthly cycles. As dawn approaches, the stars begin to fade, leaving only memory and wisdom. The priest bows, acknowledging the river of stars and committing its guidance to heart. Descending the pyramid, he carries celestial knowledge that will shape the city's destiny, ensuring alignment with the cosmic flow. Deep within the temple, the priest enters the Temple of Echoes, a sacred chamber where every sound reverberates as if carrying messages from the gods. Here, chants, whispers, and the crackle of flame are amplified into visions and warnings, reflecting both past and future. The chamber is dimly lit, walls carved with intricate glyphs and murals depicting gods, ancestors, and cosmic events. The priest kneels at a central altar, laying out offerings of maize, flowers, and copal. The acolytes stand behind him, carrying smaller bowls and following his movements carefully. He begins chanting, each syllable echoing off the stone walls. The echoes twist and converge, forming shapes in the air. Serpents coil, jaguars prowling, ancestors gesturing, and celestial bodies spinning in miniature. Each sound becomes a messenger, a carrier of divine intention. Visions unfold. The city faces challenges of war and disease, yet blessings await those who respect the sacred cycles. The priest interprets each echo, mapping them onto the sacred calendar and recording mental notes for guidance. The temple itself seems alive, responding to his prayers with subtle vibrations, as if affirming his understanding. He sprinkles copal into a flame, smoke weaving through the chamber. Every movement, every sound, every chant is deliberate, translating the echoes into actionable wisdom for the people. Hours pass. The acolytes mirror his gestures, learning to listen, to observe, and to respect the divine resonance that surrounds them. As dawn approaches, the echoes settle, leaving only a faint hum. The priest bows deeply, aware that the chamber has imparted guidance, warning, and blessing. Descending through the temple corridors, he carries both knowledge and reverence, ready to share the lessons of the Temple of Echoes with the city below. The night is alive with tiny lights, thousands of fireflies flickering in the jungle like miniature stars descended to earth. The priest sees in their dance a sacred pattern, a message from the gods, a rhythm that reflects the harmony between nature and the divine. He ascends the pyramid, robe flowing, jade and feather ornaments, shimmering faintly under the soft lights of the fireflies. The acolytes follow, carrying bowls of offerings and copal. The jungle hums with life, the fireflies weaving intricate patterns across the trees, stones, and temples. Kneeling at the altar, the priest chants to the gods, "O spirits of light, messengers of heaven and earth, reveal your wisdom in your dance, illuminate the path of life, and guide us in harmony with the cosmos. Smoke rises from copal, intertwining with the firefly's glow, forming visions in the priest's mind, serpents slithering through starlight, jaguars prowling in shadows, rivers glistening with celestial reflection. Each flicker is a symbol, each movement a message. He traces glyphs in the air, following the rhythm of the fireflies, mapping their movement onto the sacred calendar. The acolytes watch, fascinated, learning to see patterns where ordinary eyes see only flickering lights. Hours pass as the dance continues, a symphony of living light. The priest interprets messages of fertility, growth, protection, and warning. Each insight is recorded in memory, guiding rituals, city decisions, and daily life. As dawn approaches, the fireflies' lights fade with the stars, leaving the priest and acolytes with knowledge and reverence. He descends the pyramid, carrying the wisdom of the dance of the fireflies, a reminder that even the smallest lights can illuminate the path of destiny. Within the deepest chamber of the temple, the priest discovers a hidden glyph, carved centuries ago and concealed from ordinary eyes. Its significance is profound, a message from the ancestors, a guide to balance, destiny, and divine favor. The priest kneels before the glyph, candlelight illuminating intricate carvings of serpents, jaguars, and celestial symbols. The acolytes stand respectfully behind him, sensing the weight of discovery. He whispers prayers. "O ancestors, reveal the truths hidden in time. Let your wisdom guide us and protect the city below." As he traces the carvings with his fingers, visions unfold, past events long forgotten, warnings of future trials, blessings of abundance if sacred laws are observed. Each line of the glyph resonates with the priest's spirit, translating into knowledge he must carry forward. Smoke curls from copal, mingling with the candlelight, forming ephemeral shapes. Jaguars prowling, serpents coiling, stars spinning in celestial harmony. The priest chants softly, allowing the glyph's message to imprint upon his memory and heart. He instructs the acolytes to replicate patterns on clay tablets and codices, ensuring the knowledge is preserved for future generations. The chamber echoes with chants, smoke, and the subtle pulse of ancient wisdom. Hours pass as he deciphers the glyph completely, each symbol revealing secrets about harmony, vigilance, and devotion. When dawn nears, he bows deeply, understanding that the glyph is not merely a relic, it is a living connection between ancestors, gods, and humanity. Descending the temple stairs, the priest carries the sacred knowledge in silence, aware that this discovery strengthens his guidance, enriches ritual practice, and safeguards the city against imbalance. At the heart of the temple, the priest approaches the cosmic drum, an ancient instrument carved with celestial symbols and sacred glyphs. The drum is said to carry the heartbeat of the universe, translating cosmic rhythm into earthly guidance. The priest kneels before it, placing hands gently on its polished surface. Torchlight flickers across his white robe, and jade ornaments, illuminating the black and red patterns painted on his face. Acolytes stand behind him, holding offerings and copal, eyes wide in anticipation. He strikes the drum slowly. Each beat resonates through the temple, vibrating across stone walls and echoing into the jungle beyond. The rhythm is unlike any ordinary sound. It reverberates with cosmic order. With each strike, visions form in the air, rivers flowing in harmony, maize sprouting abundantly, jaguars prowling with purpose, serpents coiling through starlight. The priest chants in time with the drum, aligning his energy and gestures with the cosmic rhythm. Smoke rises from copal, spiraling into the air, weaving with the drum's vibrations to form ephemeral shapes of ancestors, gods, and celestial bodies. Hours pass as the priest and acolytes maintain the rhythm, the temple itself seeming to pulse with life. Every beat guides insight, when to plant, when to harvest, when to prepare for storms or conflicts. The cosmic drum is both messenger and teacher, revealing the interconnectedness of all things. As dawn approaches, the beats slow, and the final echo fades into silence. The priest bows, heart aligned with the cosmic rhythm, and descends the temple stairs. The knowledge gained from the cosmic drum will guide rituals, city decisions, and the people's harmony with the universe. The priest walks a narrow corridor deep within the temple, following the path of the ancestors, a sacred walkway adorned with glyphs, carvings, and murals depicting generations of Maya guidance. Each step resonates with the wisdom of those who came before, a lineage of devotion, ritual, and cosmic understanding. He kneels at intervals, placing offerings of maize, flowers, and copal before carved symbols. Torchlight flickers, revealing scenes of past kings, warriors, priests, and common people guided by the ancestors. Acolytes trail behind, observing quietly, aware that this path carries knowledge essential to their people's survival and spiritual harmony. The priest chants softly, invoking ancestral spirits. O elders of the past, guide our footsteps, reveal the lessons of your lives, and bless the city with your wisdom. Smoke from copal rises, weaving through the corridor, highlighting glyphs that pulse with subtle energy. Visions emerge in his mind, the founding of temples, battles fought and won, crops saved from drought, children learning in sacred spaces. Each vision is a message: honor the past, live with devotion, and act with foresight. He traces glyphs in the air, connecting the lessons of history with the cycles of the present. Acolytes mirror his gestures, learning to interpret the subtle communication of ancestors through symbols, rituals, and observation. Hours pass as the priest moves along the corridor, absorbing and translating the ancestral wisdom. By the time he reaches the end, the dawn light filters through the temple, illuminating the carvings in a golden glow. The priest bows deeply, acknowledging the lineage of knowledge and its responsibility to protect and guide the city. Descending to the temple's main chamber, he carries the insights, blessings, and guidance of generations past. The city below awakens, unaware of the depth of history shaping its destiny, yet aligned with the path of the ancestors, safeguarded by wisdom, ritual, and reverence. High atop the temple, the priest studies the night sky with the star compass, an ancient device of carved stones and celestial markers aligned with constellations. The Maya believed it guided not only travel and timing, but also spiritual decisions and destiny. The priest ascends the pyramid, robe flowing, jade and feather ornaments shimmering faintly under starlight. Acolytes follow with offerings of maize, flowers, and copal, their eyes reflecting the celestial spectacle above. At the summit, he kneels before the star compass, tracing glyphs etched into its stones. He chants, "O stars, guides of the earth, reveal the path of wisdom and foresight, illuminate the choices that will shape our city and its people." Smoke rises from copal, curling around the compass and forming visions in the air, rivers flowing harmoniously, jaguars prowling through forests, serpents twisting along celestial pathways. The priest observes patterns among the stars, connecting their positions with sacred calendar dates and the city's destiny. He gestures to the acolytes, showing them how to align glyphs and offerings with the stars, teaching them the ancient knowledge of cosmic navigation. Every movement, every chant, every alignment carries the weight of responsibility to harmonize human life with the universe. Hours pass as he studies the compass, tracing the patterns of stars, planets, and constellations. Each observation brings clarity: when to plant, when to prepare for conflict, and when to perform sacred rituals. The star compass becomes both guide and teacher, linking human decisions with celestial forces. As dawn approaches, the stars fade, and the priest bows deeply, committing the guidance of the star compass to memory. Descending the pyramid, he carries knowledge that ensures the city's alignment with cosmic order and divine wisdom. Under the full moon, the priest prepares for the ritual of the jaguar, honoring the sacred predator as both guardian and symbol of strength, stealth, and divine protection. The ritual is a blend of reverence, magic, and cosmic alignment. He ascends the pyramid, robes flowing, jade and feather ornaments catching moonlight. Acolytes carry bowls, flowers, maize, and copal, following in solemn procession. The city below sleeps, unaware of the sacred ceremony above. At the summit, The priest kneels before the altar, placing offerings and lighting copal. He chants, "O jaguar, guardian of shadows and light, guide us in courage and wisdom. Protect our people and illuminate the path of destiny." A large jaguar emerges silently from the jungle, golden eyes glowing in the moonlight. Its presence is majestic and terrifying, yet calm, embodying both earthly power and spiritual authority. The priest bows deeply, acknowledging the sacred creature, while acolytes mirror gestures, offering tributes in harmony with the ritual. Smoke from copal curls into the night, intertwining with moonlight and forming visions. Cities safe from turmoil, crops flourishing, children protected, ancestors watching. The jaguar prowls, circling the altar, as the priest interprets signs of guidance, warning and blessing. Hours pass as the ritual continues. The priest chants, traces glyphs, and observes the jaguar's movements. Every action aligns human life with the spiritual and cosmic order, ensuring protection and prosperity. The acolytes learn by example, absorbing knowledge of harmony between human, animal, and divine forces. As dawn approaches, the jaguar retreats into the jungle, leaving the priest and acolytes with a sense of awe and assurance. The ritual of the jaguar is complete. The city remains safeguarded, aligned with cosmic order, and guided by courage, wisdom, and devotion. As the night deepens, the priest prepares for the sacred feast, a ceremonial gathering honoring gods, ancestors, and the cosmic cycles. This feast is both an offering and a communion, blending ritual, devotion, and sustenance to maintain harmony between humans and the divine. The priest ascends the temple pyramid, robes flowing, jade and feather ornaments shimmering in torchlight. Acolytes follow, carrying bowls of maize, fruits, cacao, flowers, and copal. The city below sleeps, unaware of the spiritual celebration above. At the summit, he arranges the offerings meticulously on the altar. Each item symbolizes a gift: maize for life and growth, cacao for the heart, flowers for beauty and devotion. Smoke from copal rises, mingling with the torchlight, creating ethereal shapes, serpents weaving through stars, jaguars prowling, ancestors gesturing in blessing. He chants to the gods and ancestors, "O spirits of sky, earth and time, accept these offerings. Guide our people, bless the city, and sustain harmony with the cycles of life." The acolytes mirror his gestures, learning the sacred rhythm of giving, respect, and ritual. As the feast progresses, visions appear in the priest's mind: rivers flowing, crops thriving, children playing safely, warriors guided by divine wisdom. Each vision confirms the importance of devotion, preparation, and alignment with cosmic order. Hours pass. The priest and acolytes continue offerings, prayers, and chants, ensuring that every gesture resonates with reverence. The sacred feast strengthens the bond between humanity and the divine, aligning human life with the cosmic cycles and ancestral guidance. As dawn approaches, the priest bows deeply, acknowledging the gods' and ancestors' blessings. He descends the pyramid, carrying the energy and wisdom of the sacred feast, ready to guide the city in accordance with divine and cosmic order. The priest retreats to a sacred chamber within the temple for the Night of Visions, a spiritual vigil where dreams, prophecies, and cosmic signs converge. This night is reserved for deep meditation, interpreting messages from gods, ancestors, and the celestial realm. He kneels at the center of the chamber, surrounded by offerings of maize, flowers, and copal. Torches flicker, casting long shadows across glyphs and murals depicting cosmic events, jaguars, serpents, and divine ancestors. Acolytes sit respectfully, sensing the power of the night. The priest chants softly, invoking guidance: "O spirits of sky, earth, and past, reveal your messages. Illuminate the paths of destiny, warn of danger, and bless our city." Smoke curls from copal, twisting into visions that dance on the chamber walls and in his mind. Celestial alignments, rivers swelling, children thriving, warriors preparing, and crops flourishing. He traces glyphs in the air, connecting visions to the sacred calendar. Each vision carries guidance for timing of rituals, governance, and daily life. The acolytes observe silently, absorbing knowledge and learning to interpret subtle signs from the divine. Hours pass in deep meditation. The chamber vibrates with spiritual energy, every whisper, chant, and flicker of torchlight, magnifying the connection between mortal and divine. The night of visions reveals threats to avoid, blessings to cultivate, and cosmic alignments to honor. As dawn approaches, the visions fade, leaving the priest with clarity, wisdom, and purpose. He bows deeply, acknowledging the gods, ancestors, and cosmic forces that guided him through the night. Descending the temple stairs, he carries the revelations to share with the city, ensuring that knowledge, protection, and divine alignment endure. As dawn breaks over the jungle, the priest ascends the pyramid one last time, carrying the accumulated wisdom of countless rituals, celestial observations, and ancestral guidance. Today, he offers the final blessing, a culmination of all devotion, cosmic alignment, and divine communication. His white robe flows in the morning breeze, jade and feather ornaments shimmering with sunlight. The acolytes follow, carrying offerings of maize, flowers, cacao, and copal, their faces a mixture of awe and solemn responsibility. The city below is stirring, unaware of the sacred ceremony above, yet destined to receive its unseen protection and blessings. At the summit, the priest kneels at the altar, arranging the offerings meticulously. Smoke curls from burning copal, intertwining with golden rays of sunlight, forming visions that dance above him, serpents twisting through the heavens, jaguars prowling the earth, rivers flowing, children playing safely, and ancestors watching with serene wisdom. He chants with deep resonance, "O gods of sky, earth, and time, accept our devotion. Bless our people, guide their hearts, protect our city, and align human life with cosmic order." Each word vibrates through the pyramid, echoing across the jungle, stirring unseen forces, and carrying intention into the heavens. The acolytes mirror his movements, offering prayers, chanting softly, and placing each item with reverence. The priest lifts his hands toward the sky, invoking the collective power of past rituals, the river of stars, the eclipse, the cosmic drum, the sacred feast, and the night of visions, all converging in this moment. Visions flash, the city thriving in harmony, warriors guided by divine wisdom, crops flourishing, children laughing, and elders teaching in peace. The priest feels the weight of responsibility lift, replaced by serenity and fulfillment. He knows the city is safeguarded, aligned with the cosmic rhythm, and blessed by ancestors and gods alike. As the final chant ends, the priest bows deeply, offering gratitude to the divine and to his acolytes. The morning sun bathes the temple in warm light, illuminating the pyramid, the jungle, and the city below. Descending the steps slowly, the priest carries the invisible blessings to the city, knowing that his devotion has woven human life into the sacred order of the cosmos. The final blessing is complete. Humanity continues, guided by wisdom, courage, devotion, and the eternal dance of celestial forces. The priest's heart is at peace, the city protected, and the heavens watching with quiet satisfaction. As the sun rises over the jungle and the sacred pyramids, our journey comes to a close. But the echoes of the Maya priest, his rituals, and the wisdom of the ancestors linger in the heart and mind. We have witnessed the celestial rhythms, the sacred dances, and the eternal guidance that shaped a civilization, and we carry that awareness into our own lives. The city below, though unaware of the ceremonies above, continues in harmony with the cosmic order, protected and blessed by devotion, courage, and reverence. And so, the story reminds us that knowledge, patience, and connection with the divine, whether through stars, smoke, or silent guardians, can guide us through uncertainty and illuminate the path ahead. May the lessons of the river of stars, the cosmic drum, the dance of fireflies, and the ritual of the jaguar inspire you to seek wisdom, honor tradition, and recognize the unseen forces that shape our world. Thank you for joining us on this extraordinary journey into the heart of the Maya universe. Carry its light, its rhythm, and its blessings into your life. Until we meet again under the midnight sky, let the stars guide your way.